Boom, 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 Chenka. How's it going, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another edition of Monday Analysis for you, the show where we get into the Premier League, we talk about the results that happened at the weekend, and we talk about the major pressing talking points that have occurred because of the football. So, thank you to everybody who's stopping by already in here. I can see there's a bunch of you in here. We'll get into all the major talking points shortly. I just want to shout out Andrew Wilson, Clam J, Bash Gaming, Andrew Salib, Ultra67, Alex Rudd, Illy United, everybody else who's joining us right now. Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you're all having a good one. I most certainly am not, because of Manchester United and the way that we succumbed to Newcastle United, to Steve Bruce's Newcastle United. I mean, it was absolutely poodoo magoo, wasn't it? Let's not beat about the bush here. We were absolutely freaking poodoo magoo against them. And we have been for a long time now. United, we're having just a complete freaking implosion, a complete nightmare. And we're going to talk about the reasons why and the problems for that. But obviously, I'll just kick it off by saying the reasons for Manchester United's failure right now is many. There are lots of variables. There's lots of different reasons why United are having a freaking double daymare at the moment. And, of course, the biggest one being those freaking absolute twatheads upstairs, the Glazers and Ed Woodward. We can't paint over that. You know, the fact is people are calling for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be sacked at the moment. But if we did get a new manager in with those twats upstairs, it's not realistically going to solve us right now. Did you see that freaking squad we put out yesterday? No wonder we couldn't go on and win that game and got absolutely dominated by a bang average Newcastle side. Did you see the squad? It was makeshift. It didn't look good. I mean, we're not choosing from the best parts here to create a good team. I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's choosing certain players and he's playing a certain way and he does have an impact over the tactics and everything. But the pool of talent we've got to choose from, it might as well be a freaking puddle. It's a puddle of talent. We don't have very much. We basically just got a very shallow puddle of talent with like David De Gea flopping around in it and stuff. It's just not up to the level that Manchester United should be anyway. So I think it's very difficult for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get a good team out there. Having said that, the tactics have been drab for about 5 or 6 games now. The way we've been going about our football, obviously the coaching staff and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they do have a direct impact on the type of football Manchester United are playing out there. And if we're all being honest, we don't really know what type of football playing, other than it's defensive. We can't create, we can't cut teams open. Teams know how to play against us as well. We've just got one way of playing, it seems anyway, because when a team sits back and puts their numbers behind the ball and hits us on the counter, we can't really deal with it at the moment. And because we just can't seem to penetrate, we're trying to pass it around like Man City. But we can't do that. We don't have the players for that. And what happens is we just end up losing possession and then we get done on the counter-attack. We've seen it time and time again recently. United are just not up to the level of the top teams in terms of cutting the lesser teams open. We're a freaking mid-table team at the moment, okay? We're 12th in the Premier League. So we're actually a lower mid-table team at the moment. I mean, it's an absolute farce, isn't it? The fact that Manchester United are indeed 12th in the league. I didn't think I'd see the day after 8 games that United would be down there, because I just assumed we'd always be that big club. I mean, it's a right kick in the bollocks, this. I mean, there's so many Liverpool fans come out of the woodwork recently, and I want to say anybody who's new to the channel, thanks very much for getting involved. I know there's a couple of hundred new subscribers since yesterday, so everybody who is new, thanks for stopping by. And all the usual legends, thank you very much for getting in here as well. But yeah, Liverpool fans are just gloating their tits off. And it's doing my head in, to be honest. I can't quite take Manchester United being this pitiful for very much longer. That's the crux of it, really. You know, what is the issue? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Glazers, the owners, what is the major issues at the club? Well, we've seen Manchester United have a couple of great managers, experienced managers over the last few years, the likes of Louis van Gaal and, of course, Jose Mourinho fail, and we've seen them fail at Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not had the same time as those guys. He's had nowhere near the same money. He didn't have the same squad. He's not had a squad anywhere near the level of either of those guys' squads, to be perfectly honest with you. And when Jose came in, you know, we had Pogba coming in, Lukaku he signed, Sanchez, all these big name, big money players. Solskjaer hasn't had any of that, really. We got freaking Slabhead for 80 mil. That's a huge signing, to be fair. But we've lost the big name players going out the other way. Lukaku and Sanchez left. Herrera left. So it's not really a great squad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got to work with here, is the point I'm making. Now, should we be able to beat Newcastle United with the squad that we had out there? I mean, We should, but it's also not the frigging best squad. Look at that starting 11, okay? It is ropey at best. Ashley freaking Gashley Clunge playing captain of the side. I mean, that tells you absolutely everything. Just not good enough. Fred is not really up to this level that I'm looking for from a Manchester United player. I think we'll all agree with that. We've not seen too much from him, but what we have seen is absolutely bang average. Not good enough. Just sorry, from what we've seen, he's nowhere near a Manchester United player for me. Rashford up top there. I mean, he's absolutely Gashford, Trashford, whatever you want to say. Now, these players, they're not doing the business. They need to sort themselves out. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, those demands selecting these players. He should have played Rashford in a wide position if he was going to play him. He shouldn't be putting him up there at top. He is making fundamental mistakes. You can see somebody's not working in a certain position based on a shit ton of games where they've just underperformed. So you should probably try and address that problem, change things up. So look, the fault doesn't lie with any individual aspect of the club. It lies probably mostly with the Glazers, secondary with frickin' Edward Potato Head Woodward, and thirdly with Ole Gunnar, the coaching staff, and then the players, of course, need to man up. Because I'm sorry, like players like Wan Mata, Wan Pratter, Wan Twatter, whatever you want to call him, you don't call him those things. He just seems so nice. But if he wasn't such a nice bloke, then you would call him Wan Twatter, because he is unfortunately playing like one at the moment. Just not good enough. Experienced player, quality player, technical player. You wouldn't know it though. And he's so small, and the technical abilities displayed the last couple of games. It's like, is my 6-year-old nephew out there playing on the pitch? That's how effective he's been. So that's not good. Pereira, man. I mean, I don't know. He's got to do something. I mean, we've seen some things from Andreas Pereira which have been very good, but recently, he's looked absolutely piss poor as well. We don't really have the players. We don't really have the quality. The depth is not there. Any injury problems, and we're screwed. Anthony Martial got injured, we're screwed. Pogba's injured, we're screwed, even though if Pogba plays, we're screwed. We're just screwed at the moment. That is the problem. It's not going to be an easy fix at United, so if United were to get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if the Glazers made the decision, which they may well do, because this is the Glazers we're talking about, and personally, I think that they would just get rid of him and get somebody else in and paper over the cracks a little bit more and use Ole Gunnar as a scapegoat, which they've been doing with managers for the last few years and all that kind of thing. That's what they'll do. And I don't think United would necessarily benefit from it. There's talk of Pochettino. People are talking about Allegri. A lot of people seem to want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out and a new manager coming in. And what I'm telling you now, unless they are given hundreds of millions of pounds, which I don't see the Glazers doing, they're going to struggle with this absolute shit shower of a United squad too. Because that's what it is. There's no quality star players in there. Who are United's best players we've got in this squad, though, honestly? David De Gea, I think he's a great keeper. He's not been in their best form over the last 12 months that he's ever shown in his career, but he's still a great goalkeeper, truly a world-class goalkeeper, so he's great. Who else is there? I mean, Harry Maguire obviously has had a great couple of years. England national team, Leicester, but for United, he's just been an absolute tombstone head. He's just been in there. Did you see that freaking chance he missed yesterday against Newcastle? That glancing header from the corner. It's a free header, Harry. I'd expect a freaking £80 player to put that one away in the Sunday League, let alone an £80 million slab head that cost us from Leicester City. So he's had a mare there. That was his moment to get a little bit of glory and shine. He bottle jobbed it as well, like a lot of the players have. And he made that great sliding tackle in the first half, and I think he's a good player, I really do. I'm happy we've got him. Just think he's having a bit of a slow start at United. I'm sure he will improve. We've seen quality from the lad. He just definitely needs to improve his, don't know what it is, confidence, intelligence with his teammates, that sort of a thing. It's not quite there for Harry Maguire at the moment, but those headed chances that he missed, there's no excuse for missing that one, I'm afraid. A one-armed banjo player carrying a banjo could have stocked that one away, do you know what I'm saying? So he's had a nightmare. Gungshi in the house, how you doing, mate? He's just super chatting here. Thank you very much, Gungshi. Hope you're having a good one. He comments, unless the owners support the manager fully, it doesn't matter who is manager. Ed the Potato Head needs peeling. The whole club needs to be declunged. Declunged. That's a fantastic word you've just come up with there. I like it. Yeah, we need some serious declunging on the go. We need to get freaking Mr. Muscle and give this place a serious declunging, because there's been a lot of clunge built up. Ashley Clunge, the Glazers, Woodward. No, you're absolutely right though. Like, it's not going very well because of the owners, because of everything else. Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not performing particularly at the moment as manager, but he's not the root cause of the problem. If we got another manager in, like I was saying, if we got another manager in, they're not really going to do much better with this absolutely piss poor shit shower of a squad. And with the owners and everything else behind the scenes at the club that's wrong, it doesn't make it easy for anybody coming in there. We've seen Jose fail, we've seen Louis van Gaal fail. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could fail, and at the moment he is failing, but if he was sacked now, it would just be plain wrong in my opinion. You know, I've calmed down and cooled down a little bit from yesterday. Yesterday I was pretty pissed off with the result and the performance, of course. And the recent performances have just been absolutely terrible. So I'm not happy with the way that we've been going about it recently. I'm not happy with the results, the performances. They're all wrong. 12th in the table. It's a nightmare. And Solskjaer was pissing me off a little bit yesterday, just simply because of the selections that he's made out there. Rashford at the top there. I'm not feeling that one at all after the form that he's been in. Of course, Greenwood was on the bench. You know, stuff like that, it just annoys me. I don't see the logic in it because previously you've seen them underperform. Why put them out there and let them go through it again where they're just not high in confidence and they're not actually doing the business out there? So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's had a fat mare with some of the selections recently. He's had a complete double day there with in-game management and substitutions. The style, the tactics. I mean, I can't really defend the way that Manchester United are playing, but all I would say is he's not had the easiest job. But he's not been given the easiest job by the Glazers because the Glazers didn't give him enough players. We've had injury problems, and that has basically screwed us up. If we had a fully fit squad, we still wouldn't have a squad capable of getting into the top four. If we, got a few injuries, then we're absolutely screwed. And that's what we've seen happen. And without a bit of investment and some quality coming in, then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was always going to fail. He was always going to fail, just like Jose was going to fail at the end of the last window. Jose did a great job, finished in second the season before. But he was always going to fail that next season when he wasn't given the quality players to strengthen. And I think we can see that in hindsight now. Like, Jose didn't do a bad job at United. He won a few trophies for us the first season, got a second the next season, and then it all went to shite. I think things just went sour behind the scenes. He wanted the players, he wasn't getting the players. And, okay, we did get some players in, some quite expensive players in while he was here as well, to be fair. So you've got to factor that in. But what I'm saying is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't had that time. He hasn't had the transfer windows. He hasn't had the investment. He hasn't brought the quality players in. He's got Daniel James in. He's got Wan-Bissaka in, which are great young players. And, of course, Harry Maguire. So none of those are the same sort of level or calibre players or big-name players like Jose or Louis or anybody else was allowed to bring in. Jose had Zlatan Ibrahimovic as well, so that does help because that guy's an absolute freaking tank. I mean, I still have that guy at the club right now. I know I keep banging on about it. I hope something can be done. Just take Zlatan back at Manchester United. It would help out so much. Who would you have up there right now? Between Marcus Rashford and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, even at his age of 38, whatever he is, of 106. Whatever age he is, you would absolutely have Zlatan Ibrahimovic up there. He's a match winner, he's a leader. We don't have enough cojones at this club. I think that's evident to see. The players, let me get on to the players now. I've talked about the owners. They're an absolute calamity and gash. And we all know the reason why Manchester United is truly failing is because of them and Ed Woodward and them totally mismanaging the club. The manager, obviously, he has his problems. He needs to sort himself out. Play some of the other players, play some of the youth players. Don't reward failure. Don't reward players who are just completely underperforming. We got Marcus freaking Rashford coming on every single game. What for? So he can stink up the place? Because that's what he's doing on the pitch. He's putting in awful, stinking performances every single week. And I don't want to see any of that. I want to see somebody else given the opportunity. Fair enough, if he comes off the bench and he nicks one at the end, maybe he plays himself into the next game, or he plays out wide. You play him in a position where he's needed. I mean, it just seems very stupid to me that we wouldn't do that. Greenwood up top there. Rashford out wide. Daniel James out wide. I mean, that is penetration up there. That's pure penetration if you play those three players up there. It's something like a 4-3-3. Rashford out wide, where he's actually looked okay, can actually take a man on, can actually cut inside and have a pop, can cause problems, just can't bloody finish. Daniel James on the other side can finish, can create, can do a man with pace, can whip a ball in. Greenwood, okay, he's only 17, can finish. But what I'm saying is if you had Zlatan Ibrahimovic there as well, that would be insane. Those three players, though, we should be utilising them more in a better position. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be playing players in their preferred positions. Paul Pogba's no CDM, should be playing somewhere else. It's kind of ridiculous that he's doing the same mistakes that Jose was doing and that Louis was doing. You'd think that all he has to do is look at what they did and their failings and what pissed the fans off and not do that. But there you go. Right, guys, thank you to everybody who's tuning in live right now. I'm going to get into some more topics, of course, and talk about the weekend's football, but I just want to read a few of your comments out as we go along. We will have a proper little Q&A bit and comment section at the end of the video, though we're in a little bit after I finish blabbering absolute freaking cod. But if you are tuned in live today, do us a favour, smash a cheeky little like on this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and get your thoughts and opinions in. Ralph Moygan's comments, Pig. How should we line up against the Dippers? What should the approach be, and how can we win it? Or the best we can hope is a draw. Thank you very much for your question there, Ralph. I mean, I don't really know. It's a tough one, the line up against Liverpool. Obviously, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to put a decent balance of youth and experience out there. But at the same time, the experience of Manchester United, the players that we've got, and just not performing, but you can't really stick in 11 kids against Liverpool, I don't know, at this moment in time, because they're just probably going to get absolutely slaughtered. So you do need a bit of experience out on there, so it's a tricky one. But I definitely would play Pogba advanced, in a sort of advanced position in midfield, in behind a striker. I'd play Rashford out wide. I'd play Greenwood up top there, if Martial's not fit, obviously, and Daniel James on the other side. McTominay. I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? We've just got an absolute shit show. Probably Garner. I'll probably give the opportunity to Garner in the centre park, just see what he can do. Look at Longstaff, the other Longstaff brother. I get them mixed up, but the other one, who, of course, made his debut yesterday, and they were playing together in the centre park. But if you look how he played against us, I don't see any reason why a young lad representing Manchester United can't go out there and surprise a few people with a decent performance. So Garner would probably get the nod for me, just simply because Pogba at CDM's no good, Fred's looked absolutely gash-tastic, and Matic is a static twatich. So I just wouldn't play him either. So probably Garner, if we're playing 4-2-3-1, I don't know, like Garner and McTominay there with Pogba in front, Rashford out wide, James out wide, Greenwood up top, and then if we're playing 4-2-3-1, the creator in behind. I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because we've just got a whole shower of shite to choose from. Angel Gomez, I guess, actually. Yeah, it's an easy one. What I'm thinking. Angel Gomez, because he's creative, he's young, he's actually got a decent future ahead of him. So that would be my team. And then the back line, you know, Twanzebe, Maguire, centre-backs. Wan-Bissaka, right-back, if he's fit, obviously. Left-back, you know, Dallo, over young for me, or Williams over young for me. Just somebody else. Anyway, that's my team. Thank you very much for your question there. Gene Astley comments, it's unfair to blame James when Rashford sucks with anticipation skills, not to mention why is he taking free kicks? Mata could do better. Mata's a great free kick taker, to be fair, or he has been for Manchester United over the years. I certainly think he would be a better set piece taker than Marcus freaking Rashford, because all Rashford has proved is that he cannot take free kicks at all. He tries the old Cristiano Ronaldo up and down chicken dipper knuckle puck. Chicken dicker. That's what it actually is. Because it's just freaking absolutely chicken shit, and it makes him look like a dick. So it's a chicken dicker. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. It's an absolutely shocking execution from the lad, though. I know Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't convert the most amount of his free kicks, actually, compared to a lot of players. But when he does convert a lot more than Marcus Rashford. So I think he's in a bit of a barren spell at the moment, funnily enough. But he can't execute it properly. We can see that. Let somebody else have a go. Juan Mata is a great free kick taker, but only if he's on the pitch. And recently, Juan Mata's not really justified his starting place in the team either, because he's been absolutely freaking Juan Prata. Pablo comments, Ole gonna keep using gash-tastic tactics. Well, this is a problem, isn't it? We do have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer making the wrong selections, and whatever tactics we've got out there are not working. It seems like we're just trying to play like possession-style football, like play the percentages, don't give much away, work our opportunity, slowly catchy monkey, but it doesn't actually work, unfortunately, for Manchester United, because we don't have the quality players to actually execute that, in my opinion. Just realised, is the... I'm not sure if the chat is actually working on my video. So I can see all you guys tuning in and chatting here, but I've just seen the actual live chat on my video seems to be stuck. Is that because there's too many people commenting? I have no idea. But there you go. Anyway, I'll just carry on. Thank you to everybody who is stopping by on the channel though today. I can see RB Comps, Alex Rincon in the house. Comments, the season United were in the Championship, they average 4 goals per game at home. They beat teams like 6-0 and shit. I'll support United no matter what. So we're talking about Manchester United getting relegated. That's the sad truth of it though. We're actually closer to getting relegated than we are to getting top 4 or getting, a title. That's how freaking shite we are. Just imagine if Manchester United got relegated, though. What effect would that have on the club? And what would happen to Manchester United? Let's just talk about that for a moment, because it's an interesting point. I don't realistically think United are going to get relegated, and there might be some neutrals on here going, oh, look, he's thinking, at least he actually thinks United are going to get relegated now. But no, I'm just talking hypothetically, if we got relegated. I mean, we're 2 points off relegation, as Pablo points out here. What would happen to the club? I mean, hopefully, it would sort the club right out. We'd have to get rid of a lot of the prima donnas, overpaid, overhyped players. Players like Paul Pogba would be sold, obviously. And what I hope would happen is the Glazers would realise what an absolute mess they've created and maybe look to cash out. Now, they're not going to sell United when they're at their lowest point in the Championship, because it would be so easy for United to get promoted again, or at least you'd hope for United to just do some crazy stuff in the Championship. But, you'd probably expect to see the Glazers get them promoted again, but then can they really be asked to have a charge to get Manchester United back to where they rightfully belong after that season? I don't think so. So hopefully they would sell after getting Manchester United promoted to the Premier League. It might be the blessing in disguise that we need, because maybe the stock of United would go down so much by then, they'd obviously get United back. I mean, who knows, maybe somebody else would come in and buy the club, and we'd actually get our Manchester United back. It's ridiculous to say, but I 100% would. I 100% would take a season in the Championship if it meant getting rid of those absolutely twat-head Glazers, wouldn't you? I'd take freaking 2 seasons in the Championship for that shit, because these guys are clearly not the right owners for the club. They don't invest enough in the football club. They don't buy enough players. They don't have the club's best interests at heart, sapping money out the club, whoring our brand name out across the globe. You know, it's actually a disgrace what they've done to this football club, and I would take a couple of years in the Championship just to get rid of those bastards. Do you know what I mean? The fans really do need to make themselves heard these days. That's the problem. Like, at games, you've got to make yourself vocal. The whole 90 minutes of freaking Glazers out and really, really giving it the big, and I think every single time, or even better, would actually be to just boycott the games. Just boycott the games, and I know every United fan, we want to see our football club play. You're entertained by the football, but it's not very entertaining at the moment. If it gets a message across and the seats are empty, sooner or later, the Glazers, Woodward, they're going to have to come to some sort of an agreement. Woodward should step down too. I mean, he's been bloody clueless. He's overseen this whole thing. He's the chief executive. The Glazers are sort of distant owners, if you like. Ed Woodward, he's the chief executive. He's the captain of the absolute horror show. He's the one headed us into the freaking iceberg at the moment. And to be honest, that twat just needs to go. He's not really cut out for the job of a director of football, if you like, even though obviously he's the chief exec. But we need somebody who knows football inside and out. I don't think he does. I think he's great financially. He's great to be a yes man, but having an absolute nightmare. So there you go. Rincon says the bottom line is we'll be back. The Glazers are obviously looking for a genius that will be able to create success on the cheap. So far we've failed, but eventually we'll get it right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, to them, the manager is just a scapegoat. To them, they could easily just sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now. Like I say, they hired him in an interim capacity. Now, other than a financial impact of a settlement or whatever it may be, the Glazers, nothing stopping them from actually giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the sack. So I think that is a very real possibility that can happen. I personally hope that it doesn't, because I don't think it's the manager right now that is the biggest problem. Sure, his tactics have been shite. Sure, some of his selections have been absolutely shite, and he does seem clueless at times. But he's not got the best players to choose from. That's a big problem. Some of the players we've got as well, the characters, they don't necessarily have enough bottle in this football club, unfortunately. This great bloody football club. We've got a lot of bottle jobs at the club. The owners, Ed Woodward, Ole Gunnar, and the players. Now, I don't blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, though. Look, he played himself into the job. He's an inexperienced manager. What were we really expecting him to be, the next Brian Clough or the next Alex Ferguson? You know, it's pipe dreams, lads and lasses. This club is in a complete decline, unfortunately. We've slipped down the drain like a freaking slimy turd, unfortunately. And we're festering. And we need somebody to come and wash our sins away. Unfortunately, I don't know if Solskjaer is going to be the man to do that. I don't know if I know the Glazers are not the men to do that. But what I do know is that I don't think Solskjaer is the main culprit for the problems at United. So what I want to say is, I just say let Ole Gunnar Solskjaer do what he can do at the moment. Give him faith, give him time. Look, people saying if he loses to Liverpool, he's getting sacked. Well, come on, we're going to lose to Liverpool. I hate to say this. I mean, stranger things have happened, I suppose, and it's just like United to probably go and get a result against Liverpool and then bottle it to teams like Brighton and stuff like that. But realistically, we're not going to beat Liverpool. They're just way ahead of us right now. So if you're basing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerialship on if he beats Liverpool, then he's all right, or if he doesn't beat Liverpool, then he's getting sacked, then I'm telling you now, they should just sack him now. If that's really what you think, if that's what you think the Glazers will do if we lose to Liverpool, I don't think that's the case. He's not had the money, he's not had the investment, he's doing it with a shoestring, shit-string squad. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. It is. Look at Pochettino at Spurs. I'll talk about him again because he's got a great squad of players over there. He's got so many talents to choose from. Their midfield, the depth in their midfield, they would fill our midfield up 2 times over and beat every single man of ours in those positions. That's how strong their midfield is. They've got players like Ndombele. They've got Christian Eriksen, of course. Who else have they got in there? Even their shite players like Dyer and Sissoko, we would take them right now. They'd get into our midfield right now, absolutely. So they've got a lot of talent in their midfield. They've got Harry Kane up top there. Son Heung-min, fantastic, one of the best players in the league. Brilliant defensively, they've got a great keeper. And he's still having a mare with them. So people are saying, oh, Pochettino could come in and just turn United's fortunes around. I highly doubt that. He's got a way better squad there, and he can't even turn Spurs' fortunes around at the moment. And by the way, he's been good with the last few years at Spurs, and he got them in the Champions League final. But he still can't get them playing good football at the moment. It's not easy. Sometimes you go in slumps, sometimes you go in lows. United are in a decline right now. We need to drag ourselves back up, but it's going to take time. It's going to take belief. It's going to take trust. And we just need to have a bit of belief and faith in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to do the job. That's how I feel about it after the dust has settled, after a day after losing to Newcastle United, after 5-6 drab, dreary results where we can't break down lesser opposition and we're doing absolutely shite. We've got to have faith in our manager at the end of the day. Because it's not really his fault. He's dealing with the mess of the last few years. He's dealing with the mess since Fergie left. He's dealing with the lack of players we've got in the squad. He's dealing with having Herrera leave out from underneath him. He's dealing with having Lukaku and Sanchez sold out from underneath him. I don't think he would have wanted that to happen if you told him he wasn't going to get any replacements for them. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would have been happy with those players leaving with no replacements coming in. Comment here from Illa United comments, liver joke fans always happy in the crying. I don't know, we were just bantering Liverpool fans there. Fair play to you. I agree with you, you know. Treetan Tarahaj comments, Championship, Gerrard top of the league. Illa, you're crying when you're top. When we're top, you're bottom. All right, calm down, mate. We've got a dirty Scouser in here who's giving it the big, and it seems like it. But no, fair enough. Look, Liverpool are bossing it at the moment. What can I say? 8 wins out of 8 for them now. They beat Leicester City 2-1. Let's get into some of the other Premier League action for a little bit because I'm a little bit annoyed about talking about friggin' Manchester United right now. Alex Rincon says, do your Scouse impression, pig. Right, I'll do my Scouse impression and I'll do the old results for the Premier League then. Of course, Manchester United a gash. We lost 1-0 to Newcastle away at St James's Park. Let's talk about the rest of the results that happened at the weekend then. Just to give you a bit of a rundown of my thoughts and opinions on it. So, let's do it in a fucking Scouse accent, mate. So, Brighton and Hove Albion, mates. They beat fucking Tottenham Hotspur 3-0. Fucking cracking laugh. Fantastic result, that one, to be fair. For Brighton, they beat Spurs. That's great. It seems any time I got the opportunity to get one over on Henry Hotspur for our Pig in the Hen on Wednesday, United go and bottle job it. We go and bottle job it and just make the banter bus stop for me, to be perfectly honest. Burnley, mate, fucking cracking win over Everton. Getting one over the Toffees there. Oh, I can't actually bring myself to do it anymore, Rincon. Sorry, I really dislike it. I dislike the Scouse accent. Sorry to any Scousers watching, I know there's probably a bunch of you in there, but it's not the most It's not the nicest accent in the world, is it? Let's be fucking honest now, pal. Do you know what I mean? Can I have been down fucking job centre today, mate? You got no fucking jobs, mate. Guess a job, do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get in there. So, Aston Villa beat Norwich City 5-1. Little bit surprised about that one. Norwich had looked good recently. Villa not so much, but they battered them 5-1. Sheffield United drew away from home 0-0 with Watford. Good result on the road again for Sheffield United. West Ham bottled it to Crystal Palace 2-1. So that's the team, Crystal Palace, that we lost to, beating the team, West Ham, that we also lost to. There, 2-1. Manchester United are absolutely freaking shit at the moment, aren't we, though? We lost to Crystal Palace, we lost to West Ham. And Crystal Palace beat West Ham 2-1 away. We're freaking garbage, aren't we? And this is a few weeks ago and it's only got worse. Oh dear. Sunday, Arsenal got the win over AFC Bournemouth. That is a bit of a shame. Arsenal managed to get the 1-0 win there. So another 3 points for them. Fantastic result for them. Hard fought win and they got the result. They got the job done. What I wanted to have a laugh about is Manchester City losing to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I will have a little laugh. Because I wanted to have a big laugh, but unfortunately Manchester United bottle-jobbed it to Newcastle United, and of course City are still way ahead of us, but they basically handed Liverpool the league now, haven't they? I mean, obviously not, because it's so early. There's only 8 games gone, do you know what I mean? There's still another 30 left, but it's a significant lead that they've already racked up. They've got 8 points in front of Manchester City in the table at the moment, which is quite impressive. Frank Lampard's Chelsea, man, turning it on, doing the business. Tammy Abrahams, Mason Mount, 4-1 they beat Southampton, doing the business, playing with youthful exuberance, playing a good style. What can you say, man? Lampard doing the business at Chelsea. I don't know if Chelsea have got much of a better squad than United at the moment, but they are playing a lot better football than us. Newcastle United 1 versus Manchester United. That's the freaking result, stands and lasters, okay? Let's look at the league table then. So Liverpool top of the league, 24 points, perfect start, flawless start, perfect victory. Liverpool, 8 games played, 8 wins, 0 drawn, 0 loss, 20 goals, conceded 6, goal difference of plus 14. I mean, they're absolutely bossing it at the moment, aren't they? They're looking good for the title already. Man City, on the other hand, they've slipped up a little bit. Arsenal are in 3rd place in the league, so obviously the Gooners will be very, very happy about their current situation. Leicester City, even after a loss against Liverpool, they're still in 4th place. Currently on 14 points alongside Chelsea and Crystal Palace with a surprise package this season. Currently sitting in 6th place. Burnley, they're 7th. I mean, it's crazy to think of all of these teams that are above Manchester United right now, eh? That's how shit United are right now, okay? Crystal Palace, Burnley, they complete the top 7. West Ham are sat in 8th. Tottenham Hotspur, they're having an absolute nightmare this season, to be fair, but it's almost lessened by the double nightmare that Manchester United are having currently. Tottenham Hotspur on 11 points, though. AFC Bournemouth finished off the top 10. Wolverhampton Wanderers in 11th, ahead of Manchester United, who are 12th in the Premier League on 9 points at the moment. 9 points. Everton are in the relegation zone, 2 points below us. Oh my God. It's absolutely laughable, isn't it? I'm just looking at it. It's very depressing. Anyway, so there we go. That's the little rundown of the Premier League action at the weekend and my thoughts on it. It's absolutely gashtastic. We've got a super chat here from Prakash Kumar Sabapathy. Thank you very much, Prakash, for your super chat and comment here, mate. He comments, do you think United youth players are overrated? Well, I think a couple of them may well be overrated, Prakash, but United over the years, we have generated and we have produced some really fantastic talents, like a lot of them too. And I think United do have a reputation for being a club that does produce talent. Of course, the class of 92 speaks for itself. And even years after that, we still produce talents through the ranks. Just lately, though, we seem to have had a bit of a drop-off. But there's this crop of players we've got right now. It seems like there's a potential resurgence for our youth players, because we do have great young players. But look, any young player at Manchester United, when he plays a game, is going to be labelled with that reputation of, oh, he's a future star, he's a potential one to watch for the future, whatever it may be. So, in that sense, they are overrated. But if you're looking at players like Angel Gomez, if you're looking at players like, Dan James, players like Chong, Chong's 19 years of age. He's got so much skill, if you look at some of the stuff he does with the football, it's great. Okay, he's not got the match intelligence, the match experience, but some of that will come with time. He's definitely not ready, but there's lots of players that could step up at Manchester United and start performing. Mason Greenwood, 17. If you look at what he's done in senior games, he scored a couple of goals. He looks like he's got bags of talent, so I wouldn't say he's overrated. It depends entirely on the player. Twanzebe looks solid as a rock. Doesn't seem to be overrated to me. I think we're rating him higher than Lindelof at the moment, United fans, and I think rightfully so. He seems to put much less of a foot wrong and make a lot less mistakes than Victor does. So it depends who you're talking about, really. I mean, generally, if you're talking about as a crop, I'd say, maybe they are slightly overrated, because when you think about players like Gomez and Chong and Greenwood, and even some of the slightly more experienced youthful players, the likes of Pereira or even Rashford, you're expecting them to be doing good stuff on the football pitch, but we haven't really seen it anyway recently from barely any of those players. I'm sure, Mason's performed to a reasonable standard. Gomez has performed to a reasonable standard, but yeah, nobody's really doing it. But thank you very, very much for your super chat. It's a great question, mate. Much appreciated. Branda Hansen comments, LFC fan here. Ooh, boo. Comments, Ollie needs to go. No plan. Bad setup. Players look like they have no idea what they're doing. No idea how to play. I'm happy, but wake up and smell the coffee. Fair enough. Well, you sort of come in there with a bit of a humdinger there, Branda, because I can't really deny anything that you're saying there, We don't look to have a plan. The players do look set up shoddily. We don't really know how to play. We don't know how to create. You're saying Ollie needs to go. Fair enough. I mean, the coaching staff, Ollie, are they the main culprits for the underperformance of Manchester United on the pitch? I suppose maybe they are. Maybe they are. Because no matter how shite the owners are and how much little they invest, it's still on the coaches, it's still on Ollie to get those players performing. Now, it's also on the players to go out there and perform. I saw Marcus Rashford put a post on Instagram today, which, fair play to the lad. He's saying it's just not been good enough. It's totally unacceptable, and we're going to do our best to put it right, basically. And that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see. But you've got to actually go out there and start doing it on the pitch now. There needs to be that 100% commitment. There needs to be that level of arrogance almost, like I am going to do it. There's no ifs, no buts. We are going to go out there and perform today and do it. And I just don't think we've got that at the moment. We've got a lack of confidence throughout the side. Look, Ollie's not had a lot of time though, man. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. Sir Alex Ferguson, when he came in back in the day, he didn't turn our fortunes around overnight. It took seasons and a lot of investment to get there. Now, okay, maybe his track record was better than Ole Gunnar's before coming to the club, and he had more experience, but I'm going to go back to the point. A new manager probably will not help Manchester United right now. It really won't, unless you're going to give them years and time to be able to do it, and money and investment, which you could give to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and at least see how he does until the end of the season. He's barely had a transfer window to do much. We improved our defence, but we weakened our midfield and attack. Let him improve the midfield, let him improve the attack, and then let's see how he can do it. But yeah, I admit, the way that we're playing, it's bloody useless. There's no excuses. We should be beating Newcastle. We should be beating Rochdale. We should be beating West Ham. And the way we're going about it, Astana is an absolute shocking performance as well. The way we're going about these performances, they're not very convincing. And when you do have good, young, talented players, who are supposed to be great, young, talented players, and we've got some experienced players in there who are not so great, but do have experience and certainly have enough quality on paper to see off the opposition, and you don't do that, then of course the coaching and the tactics and all that good stuff does have to be brought into question. So there you go. Thank you very much for your question, mate. Either way, we're 12th in the table at the moment. Things have got to change. If we lose to Liverpool, we could actually be in the relegation zone, which would be insane. Somebody, who was it? Forgive me, but somebody commented and said a little while ago I should put a bet on Manchester United to be relegated at 5,000 to 1. And I was like, yeah, obviously, I'm not going to do that. But if you'd done that, you'd probably be able to cash out for a decent amount right now. And also, it's stranger things have happened. But like I was saying earlier, it'd almost be a blessing in disguise if that happened, because I think a lot less fans would go and turn up and watch them play. Maybe not, because, United fans are absolutely tremendous in that sense, but I think more out of protest because of the Glazers getting us relegated. A lot less fans would go and turn up and play. The income coming into the club would be a lot less than what it usually is, so that would make them wake up and smell the roses. I think they'd do everything they could to get United promoted again, and then maybe they would sell. I think maybe they'd sell because it's just too much trouble then. and maybe somebody else, it would be a little bit more of an affordable acquisition. It'd be a little bit more appealing to try and get United back up there. It's easy to say. It's easy to say. Who knows what would happen? It would still probably be a massive cash cow for them, even if we did get relegated. It's absolutely insane, though, to think that Manchester United fans were actually debating and talking about the possibility of Manchester United getting relegated this season. I mean, that is just absolutely messed up, isn't it? There's no excuses for United getting relegated this season. Look, let's just be realistic now. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got United relegated this season, even amongst everything else, and having the squad we got, he's a complete freaking loser, man. He's a complete freaking Norwegian golem if that happens, and he would have to be sacked. Because you cannot get Manchester United relegated with this squad. I mean, the fact you've got Maguire and Wan-Bissaka and De Gea, and Pogba and Rashford and these guys alone means that you shouldn't get relegated from the league, because they are some very talented players. So there you go. Right, let's get back into the comment section, guys. Thank you to everybody that's sending in comments and stuff. Bunch of legends. Thank you very much for stopping by. Unfortunately, my live chat here, for some reason, it has just stopped. So I don't really know what's going on there, or if I can fix it. Let me just see if I can fix it quickly, actually. Probably not. But let's just see if I can. Because that obviously sucks. It's good when you can see the live chat on the screen. And no, it just seems to be absolutely screwed. Anyway, appreciate everybody that's getting into the live chat here. You're a bunch of legends. Do us a favour if you are in here. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Appreciate everybody who's stopped along over the weekend as well and watched the watch along with me, and also watched the post-match reaction. There's a lot of you, actually, so thanks to everybody who did watch. And if there's any new people in here, great to have you on board amongst the Flying Pig Bacon Brigade. Do you know what I'm saying? David Gray, Liverpool fan, comments, Man United are not scary anymore. Well, you're stating the bloody obvious there, David, all right? Go on, go and enjoy your freaking time at the top, all right, until you slip up on that banana skin that's waiting for you down the road. Do you know what I mean? Stevie G style, baby. How many freaking Premier League titles you won, David Gray, hey? Hey, how many have you won? I'd like to know. Please get your thoughts and comments in the comments section with how many titles in the Premier League that Liverpool FC have won. So look, fair enough, David Gray. Hey, I enjoy what you're saying. I like it. But remember that you haven't won the Premier League title. Okay? Ever. So you're on about old league, you know, somebody, Romeo's just put 18 here, you know. Yeah, back in the day, if you're talking about olden days. Might as well go back to prehistoric times when we're talking about that. But anyway, Premier League era, Liverpool still remain that club that have never won the Premier League title. So they're 8 points clear at the top. You know they're going to slip up. All right, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the day that they slip up. But enjoy it, Liverpool fans. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not bitter. Not much, but anyway, you know, enjoy it, Liverpool fans. Honestly, because we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it for a whole long time. For a very long time. And we enjoyed Liverpool being that mediocre freaking shower of scouse, which they were for years and years. We enjoyed Gerrard slipping up and giving Chelsea and letting Bar score and handing the title away. We enjoyed all those sorts of things. So enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy United being a complete joke at the moment, because that's what we are. Enjoy it. We'll be back one day. We are a huge club. I'm sure Liverpool will be bottling it again at one point very, very soon. I very much doubt that their continued success will last as much as Manchester United's did under Sir Alex. So enjoy it while you can. Anyway, you got me a little bit triggered there, didn't you? You won there with the comment. But anyway. Oh crikey, we've been chatting for 43 minutes today. I've still got a chest infection, still feeling rough, by the way, guys. So that took it out of me a little bit there, that little run, actually. So I've just been a little bit more mellow, a little bit more chilled out than usual today, because I am feeling a little bit rough still. So there you go. Why is it I'm always ill? Anybody who comes on there, every 2 weeks I'm freaking got some sort of man flu going on. Like, I literally need to just sort of man up a little bit. And then what's going on? I need to do what United's players need to do and just bottle it up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Not bottle it. Right, guys, let's read your comments out. Thomas Clark. How you doing, Thomas? Comments. Ollie got it right with James Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Keep the faith. This isn't going to be done overnight. You need to dig down for foundations before you build up. It's the only way. Quick fixes are useless. Thomas Clark, lad. I'm loving your comment there, Thomas, to be fair, man. Yeah, I mean, you're right. James Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, those are good signings. We could do with a few more signings. We shouldn't be expecting to do stuff overnight with this squad, especially when you're taking out some of the foundations that were there, like Herrera, and also some of the wilting foundations, like Lukaku and Sanchez, and you don't replace them. So 100% agree with you, pal. Good comment. Gary Wells comments, completely numb now, mate. I mean, it is very numbing. It is very worrying what's happened at the football club. It is depressing as you like. Fact is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's failing. The Glazers are failing. Woodward's failing. The players are failing. We're just failing. We're an absolute failure. We're a failure of the football club right now. I hate to say it because we're such a majestic football club, but right now we've just turned into a massive underachieving failure. And the only way I could see it really ever truly getting back to the glory days ever is if we had different owners, if we had a different chief exec, if we had a different direction at the football club. Now, of course, a different manager you could ask for, somebody more experienced, Allegri, Ancelotti, Pochettino, people keep saying these names. I mean, it could happen. It could improve us. It could work. It could have an overnight effect. It could go the other way. It could just cause us all sorts of problems. Could take away what we've been working for over the last 6 months and take us back to square one. And the direction the new manager takes the club in couldn't work. We thought Jose might work. It didn't. We thought Louis might work. It didn't. It's easy. It's easy to say give it Allegri. It's easy to say give it Ancelotti. Fact is, if you give it those melters, they might just melt too. It's one of the toughest jobs in world football. I'll reiterate it. Comment here from Ralph, who comments, Pig, what's your opinion on GN, Gary Neville, as a pundit? Is OGS the right man, and do you trust him spending 100 to 200 million in the next few transfer windows? He hasn't improved any player since appointed. I don't know if that's true. I think maybe he's improved some players since he's been appointed. Mason Greenwood's looked good when played. He's brought him on slowly, but he's definitely improved. Wan-Bissaka's had a great start. Don't know if that's really down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so I sort of see what you're saying. McTominay's come on leaps and bounds since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been at the club. Yeah, that's, Twanzebe. That's about it, though. That's about it. I know what you're saying. Gary Neville was a pundit. I like him. I do. I think he speaks his mind. I think he speaks most of the time good stuff. Doesn't mean I agree with him on everything, but I do think he's a good pundit, and I find his interactions with the Scouser Jamie Carragher fucking interesting, mate. My name's Stevie Carragher, mate. I'm fucking Jamie's brother, mate, named after the great fucking Stevie G, but I'm 20 fucking years younger than the cunt, mate. Oh dear. Yeah, I can't really do impressions of people, though. Like, how do you do, like, Carragher, mate? My name's Jamie Carragher. You gotta fuck this, what's that fucking spit, mate? I don't know. Anyway. Gary Neville still defends Man United. I mean, Gary Neville's been coming out with some stuff lately, of course. He's been saying about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that he doesn't actually think that it's really Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault, mainly. And I agree with Gary Neville on that, because I think it's mainly the owners, mainly the Glazers. They are the cancer of the club. Gungshi comments, spit at the camera while you do Carragher, Pig. Yeah, that's very, very true. What a dirty bastard, by the way, though, eh? Do you remember that clip? People don't mention that clip enough these days. I think we should talk about that freaking clip, because it literally highlights his Scouse roots, doesn't it, mate? He being a fucking Range Rover, pal. But you're still a fucking Scouser at the end of the day, eh? No, that's a pissed up Scouser. That's one who's been drinking special brew. But anyway, that video where he spit at those United fans, of course, they're winding him up. He's driving along. They wind out the window. They say something. I can't even remember what they say now, but I think we beat them. And they're like, hey, prick, whatever. And he spits at them. And when I say spits at them, I mean he hops a frickin' absolutely gooey Louie loogie at them. And it's pretty disgusting. Jamie Carragher, hold your head in shame there, pal. Anyway. Bat Taz comments, how's your Mank impression? It's not that fantastic, actually. I mean, depends, you can do a sort of, I don't know, my parents sort of like this, all right, duck, come from Manchester, but then you can also be kind of hang on, what the fuck was that? Forrest Gump. No, you can kind of be mad for it, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking Happy Mondays, mate, or, fucking Oasis and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm not very good at the Manchester accent. Anyway, we're digressing here, lads and lasses. They're digressing. Let's get back onto the old football chat here. Do you know what I mean? Dritan Corrents, 85 million for Maguire, the biggest fraud. The biggest fraud. Look, we're going to see a lot more stuff from Harry Maguire, okay, Dritan? We're going to see a lot more stuff from him. It's early days. He hasn't had the best start, admittedly. There's been as much bad as there has been good. He missed the absolute city yesterday. He put in a great frickin' sliding tackle in the first half. Big whoop. He's a defender, do you know what I mean? He's having a nightmare. But he is just one of the many players that are not performing at the moment. I still think he will settle into United and he will be a quality player, no doubt about it. That's my opinion anyway. Pablo comments, all right, Duck, that's not Mank, mate. Well, you know, that's sort of a region, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Freaking Lancashire way. Come on. They also say that like in Newcastle and shit as well, don't they? Anyway. Voodoo Chili 333 comments, Ollie you plonker. John Priest comments, Ollie the Wally. Guys, you need to calm yourself down here, okay? Stop ripping into Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Give him a little bit of time. He's not had enough time, really. He's only had 6 months in the job here. And he was basically trying to do a recovery job last season. He's had one window. Okay? With the best players at the club leaving in a lot of ways. Yeah, fair enough. Well, you know, whatever, Pablo, okay? You might know more about your regional dialects than me. Right, guys, 50 minutes into this Monday analysis episode. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in today. Smash a cheeky little like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Upcoming videos on the channel this week. I'm going to try and do every single day. Hopefully, I won't be doing an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sacked video, but part of me almost thinks that might happen because we know what the Glazers are like. We know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not doing very good at the moment, and it'd be easy to use him as a scapegoat and give him the sack. And try and get somebody else in. It'd be absolutely easy to do that. So hopefully there's no video like that on the channel this week. Wednesday, we've got the Pig and the Hen show. So keep a lookout for that one. I did want to absolutely rib Henry Hotspur about them losing to Brighton 3-0, which I will still do, of course. But it's just not going to be as pleasurable now. It's just not going to be as fun simply because United lost to Newcastle, and that is a big issue. Sadek Rahman comments, it's not Maguire's job to score goals at United. Hey, you make a great point, mate. You do. But it's not really his job to miss them either. You know what I mean? It's like he was there. It was a sitter. He should have put it in the back of the net. So I know what you're saying, okay, but he still can't. You can't deny that was an absolutely gash-tastic miss that he made there. And the opportunity should have been stuck away by any player on that football pitch. It was an absolute... You don't get as much of a free header as that one. Anti-Turtles comments, damn I'm late, have a great one Flying Pig, I love your channel, thank you very much Anti-Turtles, Arsenal fan in here, loving his placement in the top 4 at the moment I'm sure, thank you very much for the positivity on the channel as well there Anti-Turtles, but I want to know, why are you anti-turtles? If there's anything to be anti, it should not be turtles, okay? Turtles are great animals, they're great creatures, okay? Forget the Teenage Mutant Ninja ones, I love those too, but just turtles in general, man, how could you be anti-turtles, mate? Anyway, thank you very much for getting in here with your comment and your support for the channel. Alex Rincon comments, support the pig on Patreon with a cheeky little link. Thank you very much, Alex Rincon. My brother from Dallas there. He's not actually my brother. Metaphorical brother from Dallas, Texas in the house there. Promoting my Patreon. If you want to go and support the pig's Patreon, please click the link in the description or click that link that Alex put up there if you want to show some support to the channel. Also, I'm going to be uploading all the Pig and the Hen Show podcasts and some other exclusive content on there coming up. So just for some sort of another reason to actually go over there and support. But there you go. Dylan Weston, thank you, Alex. Dylan Weston comments, no chance Harry Kane wants to play in a relegation battle. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Even if Poch did come in, I don't think we'd realistically sign Harry Kane. We'd realistically sign Christian Eriksen any more likely than what we do now. Alex Rudd comments, have a good week. Can't wait for the Pig and Hen. Thank you very much, Alex Rudd. You must be loving it at the moment, Alex Rudd, eh? Gooner fan. Successful at the moment, anyway, compared to the other gash teams. Doing the business. Third in the league. Above Spurs, above United. Looking pretty there, to be fair. Only behind City and Liverpool. I mean, fair play to you, man. Arsenal, after me saying that they looked absolutely gashed, they got the job done against Bournemouth with that 1-0 victory. Professional job, I suppose. And there you go. They're doing better than United at the moment. What can I say? But I'm sure you're going to be looking forward to hearing our anguish on Wednesday during the Pig and the Hen show. Make sure you do join us at 3 p.m. on Wednesday for that show. There's probably going to be some fireworks. There's probably going to be some heated debate going on there. Of course, I'll be ripping into him about Spurs losing 3-0, but nowhere near as much as I would do. Sadek Rahman, thank you very much, pal. Orlando Samuel, shout out to you. Dylan Western. I'm pretty much going to wrap this video up now, guys, because I've been going for 54 minutes. My throat's starting to go. As I said, I've got a bit of a ropey chest, bit of a ropey throat at the moment still. So probably just going to chill out now. But I want to say to everybody who's joined me, thank you so much for getting in here today for Monday Analysis. Hope you enjoyed the show. Maybe a little bit low energy today because, like I say, I've got a bit of an illness. So cut me a freaking break. But anyway, thank you very much to everybody who stopped by. If I didn't respond to you during the live stream, please come back in a few minutes once this is finished and get your thoughts and opinions in on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a potential Manchester United manager. What do you think's next for United with Solskjaer or without Solskjaer? Do you think the Glazers will make a change? Do you think it hinges on that Liverpool game? There's so many factors. Get involved with your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Also, you can tweet me or Instagram me or whatever you may do at Mr. Flying Pig HD. So please follow me on there. Gungshi says, have a drink and rest your voice, Pig. Thank you very much, Gungshi. Much appreciated. I will do, buddy. And thanks to everybody who supports and shows love on this channel and gets involved and interacts in the comments section. Each and every one of you, you're a bunch of freaking legends. Dylan Westron, Ultra67, Voodoo Chili 333, Sayak Jamil, Gungshi, Alex Rudd, Manuel Marine, Dritan Tarahaj. Who else is there? Steve Buckley, the Music Fiend, John Priest. All you guys, and anybody else who I've missed, thanks so much to everybody who's freaking stopped by on the Monday Analysis show today. Get your thoughts in afterwards, and I will see you soon. You've been watching Monday Analysis on Flying Pig United. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you Wednesday for the Pig and the Hen, and I'll keep you up to date with anything else that's going on. Any breaking news, any announcements, anything that's really concrete, we will be discussing it on the show. So keep a lookout for that. But until next time, have yourselves a bloody good one. I've been the Pig. Take it easy. Come on, United. Sort your bloody lives out now, okay? There's no excuses now. Oh, it's just absolutely depressing. We need to do something. Change your freaking act. Get rid of the freaking Glazers. It's not possible. Sack them off. If we get relegated, it'll probably be the best thing for the club. I'm just going to leave you with that one. I'll see you soon. This is the Pig. Take it easy.